Yo, what's up, everybody? It is time to take a trip down memory lane. It is a Super Mario 64 review. Super Mario 64 might be the most revolutionary game of all time. Its impact across pop culture, across the speedrunning community, across, what this game did for all 3D games, what it did for platformers, what it did for Nintendo can never be understated. It changed gaming forever. The fact that this was Mario's debut on 3D is fucking insane. Like, to knock it out of the park on your first attempt this much and be this big of a game, still played like all the time today, is fucking crazy. Like, on your first attempt, especially like Mario actually was like kind of changing genres. Like, this was like a collectathon. Like, you gotta collect all the stars or whatever. Like, all other Mario games, like the 2D ones, are just like level to level, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, and turning into something like this, like, that's a big change, big step, and everything just took off from here. Like, this was monumental. Being able to explore the castle, the grounds, all that stuff, like in between levels, was just absolutely mind-blowing and revolutionary. Not only that, but the memes that come from this game. I mean, yes, there's so many iconic things happen in this game between, this and everything that, Mario says when he's fighting Bowser that, I may not be able to say on here, if you know what I mean. But like, there's just so many things that you can just look back at this game that it impacted. Now, with all that said, I don't think that Mario 64 is a perfect game by 2024 standards. I do think that, the camera does suck at times. That's very evident. Back then, it didn't really matter. And it still doesn't really matter all that much. I've played this game about like a year ago, and I still had fun with it. Still a good game. I don't think it's perfect, though. I do think Odyssey is better. I do think that there are better platformers than this as of right now. But this game is more so for its impact and less for its, like, necessarily like technical, gameplay right now. I do think Nintendo has gotten better at making Mario games. I think Nintendo has gotten better at making platformers. I think, they have improved. The camera is definitely way better nowadays in newer games. The controls back then were kind of janky, especially in Nintendo 64 controllers, fucking ass. Things have gotten better. But the impact of this game can never be understated. I think this game aged a lot better than Mario Sunshine, personally. I don't think it's nearly as jank, nearly as bad as Mario Sunshine, personally. I do think that this is the better game, as of right now. I still think this is a good game. If you go back and revisit this right now, it's still a fun game. It might get a little frustrating, because some of the quality of life things you might be used to nowadays, going back to like such an old game, that might hinder you a little bit, but I still think it's a great game, absolutely iconic, and one of the most revolutionary games ever, if not the most revolutionary game of all time. Mario 64, it's one of the games that have stood the test of time forever, and it probably always will be.